Hey everybody, you are in the kitchen with Deb and I am your personal kitchen consultant. Hi busy mom, guess who wanted to say hello today? Miss Veronica, my little troublemaker. I just had to go get her from playing with the toilet brush as usual. Little stink pot, that's why I'm trying to keep her occupied here because I'm trying to go live. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how you can incorporate games into a small area for your 4th of July backyard barbecue party. Yes, I said a small area because I've done it too. All right, bye cat. She wanted to say hello. Okay. Busy mom, do you have a yard, but small area? You have adults, you have kids you want coming to your party? And you're like, how am I going to incorporate all these activities to keep the kids occupied, the adults occupied? Here's what we're going to do. Here's what I did. Now, when my son was little, I used to have a lot of parties. I don't even know if they're called parties. I guess they are because the kids hung out on the block and we were always together with the kids. There's like 3 moms and we always watched the kids together. And the kids were different ages apart, maybe 2 years each, 2 years apart for each kid. It was like always about 5 kids or so. And when it came to the holidays, we spent the holidays together with the kids. And when I had my 4th of July party at our house, in the yard, what I had to do was I set up as many chairs as I can on the patio with the buffet table. In the least, how can I say it? They're going this way with the buffet tables as best as I can. Because I wanted to keep the adults in the eating area on the patio. In a little corner of the yard, portion of the yard, I put down croquet. Now, with the croquet, you're supposed to have it staggered out. Well, what I did is I staggered each rung that you got to go through with the ball. I staggered it so it made it, even though I had it, instead of going straight, it was staggered so it made it a little harder. But it was in a small, narrow area. So that actually worked out very well because it was real hard because it was such a small area. When you hit the ball, it kind of flew out of the area and you had to go back and get it back in. So that worked for the adults. And then the other side of the yard, by the other fence, I put the beanbag toss. Now, it may not have been as wide as it should be out, but when you've got a small yard, and you know if you've got a condo or something and you've got a small area like I do, you have to work with what you got. So the beanbags worked, and it was great because both the adults and the kids were able to play with the beanbags. And the kids liked it better because it wasn't as far. They weren't getting as frustrated. So the kids were even happier. And if you're like me, you don't want the kids getting frustrated and you want to kind of keep them happy. You don't want any tantrums when you're trying to throw a party. So that's what I did with that. Now, if it was warm enough, I also had next to the bean bags, kind of really close. You had to be, oh yeah, I remember now. There was, it was the slip-in slide, but the slip-in slide was not anywhere near where they're going to slip into the part where you throw the bean bag. It was further away. And that worked really well too. So, and then occasionally the adults would get wet and they'd be like, ah! And they loved it. And it was like, oh, that was refreshing. And then what I do is I take on the patio, I always had a tote. And inside the tote, here's a sneaky trick for you. There were water balloons filled with water. And what I would do is when it was time, when it was really hot out in the sun out, when the sun's going to dry you, I'd open because I'd tell the kids, come here, I got a surprise for you, I got a secret. I got a secret, kids. And I'd call them over and I'd say, go for it. And all of a sudden the whole yard be fluent water and balloons, but got to make sure all the food is put away. And before you do that, that's just a warning. Because everything gets wet. It was a lot of fun. And then in the walkway going towards the yard, I'd let the kids take chalk and draw on the sidewalk and do their hopscotch and that, if they wanted to do that. So you can incorporate games into a small area. In fact, what I have done in the past is, after a while, I would tell them, I'm going to take down the croquet after so long. So after we eat, a new game is going to go up. So make sure if you want to play, you go play croquet now and find somebody to play with you. Because once it's down, we're going to go into another game. And that's when I'd pull out either like a frisbee or badminton, and the kids and the adults would play with that. And occasionally the ball goes in the other yard and you got to go get it, but that happens. That's no big deal. Now, you may only have in your place, I don't know whether you have a front area only to really work with, like a small front of the house, or if you have a small backyard. What we have also done in the past was we would tell the kids, after we eat and after your food settles, or half an hour after we eat, we would take the kids to the park and let them play. Get a basketball, let them play basketball or volleyball, or maybe your park has tennis, where you can take some tennis rackets. But the basketball was the big thing with that. And when the kids were really little, we would take them over to the park and let them play on I call it a big jungle gym, where they would go ahead and just, run and have fun. And then we'd go back we'd let them play there. We'd tell them, you got 45 minutes, that's it, and we'll take you back we're going back home. And that worked out well. So that gives you some of the ideas that you can do for games. Now, you, as the parent, I don't know if you want to do horseshoes, if you have horseshoes, because that's another idea too. Now, for those of you that have a long patch of area where you can really set things up, do some potato sack races. Those are fun. If you have the grass in a long area where they can hop along, that is a lot of fun. That really works well. And what I have even done in the past, which I haven't done in a long time, is I've done when we were all at the tables, U.S. trivia game. And whoever wins, I had a first prize, second prize, and third prize. And we would play that. And whoever won, of course, is out. They sit out for the next game. And that was fun because everybody's there. Oh my God, I should know this and I can't remember it. It was a lot of fun. Now, the main thing is, you as a mom, you're probably going to want to keep the kids occupied as best as you can. I will tell you to have some extra activities if you can. Now, if your kids are smaller, you can easily have a small sandbox set up. And what I have done also in the past is when the kids were little, at these parties, I'd buy sand pails from the dollar store. I'd put those out, and we did bozo buckets. And they'd throw it'd be like a little plastic baseball, and you throw it into the bucket. And the kids loved that. That was a lot of fun. They've done that. And, you know, we've had the sandbox, and I put my son had a tote on the patio, and it was filled with toys, like toy cars and stuff that he would play with outside. And there was extra sandbox shovels and pails and things to make sand castles. That was a lot of fun. I always had some bubbles in there. I always had chalk in there. And little things like that I would put in there to keep them occupied. Now the girls like their hula hoops, they like jump rope, they like hopscotch. I had a son, it was in the block with the majority were boys on the block at the time. There was really not too many girls around. So that just gives you some of the ideas of what you could do in a small area for your backyard barbecue. Now, let me know. I'm curious, what kind of area do you have? Is this a small yard? Is it a big yard? Do you have a swing in your yard for the kids? Do you have a sandbox? Do you have a pool? What do you do to incorporate your games? How do you get your games in there? How do you make enough space to have maybe a side for the kids and a side for the adults? That's what I'd like to know, and how you manage that. Now, I've got other ideas too for games and activities. If you have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments, DM me, let me know. I'll be happy to give you some new ideas. If you're not sure how to work with your space, I'd be happy to help you on that too. Now, I did want to mention, I am going to be closing my membership for temporarily, the Prep, Organize, Declutter, and Master Your Kitchen Club, for 2 weeks, coming July 1st, because I am going to be doing a lot of one-on-one consulting. And that's what I'm going to be dedicating my time to for those first 2 weeks in July. Now, if you're in the club, you get a 30-minute complimentary consultation. That's a $47 value. So get in the club if you want that free consultation. Not only am I doing it for the club, but I'm doing it for other people too that I've got to get consultations, and they're going to all be done. So now Thursday afternoon, I'm going to be talking to you about something very, very important. And we're going to talk about leadership and delegation at your 4th of July party. Yes, I said leadership and delegation. And I'll explain then exactly what I mean by that. Bye for now, busy mom. And thank you for watching the video. Bye.